actually. So in your case, you're doing a character doing a flip or doing a jump, and you're rotating the head, adding variation in there, and you're having to, I'm assuming, like just counter animate things. You're trying to move the spine, then you move the hips, then you have to counter animate the spine, and it's just kind of a pain. So for example, if I try to rotate this, I'm not even going to do any animation here. Let's say I rotate the body forward like so. And then I'm going to take my spine and I'm just going to bend that forward as well. Cool. Okay, now I feel like, you know, that spine, I need to bend it back a little bit. I want to get those hips to kind of roll in slightly. Okay, move that in. Okay, now the spine got bent again. Rotate this back there. Oh wait, I need to rotate that spine to the side now. Oh, now the spine is not pointing in the right direction. Okay, take this back. Get that back into place. Oh shoot, I forgot my rotate Z. Boop. Oh, now the spine's crooked. And this is one pose. One pose, and I am fighting every little change that I do. Now imagine that multiplied across hundreds of frames. And every time you make a little change on that cog, you're doing all of this and you're having to counter animate the spine, and it is a pain. It is annoying. And then when you're going into your graph editor and you're polishing this and refining all of your little curve changes in there, every tiny little curve change you do is going to affect the neck, and now you're going to have little wiggles and pops in the neck that you then have to try and clean out. It's annoying. It is very, very, very annoying. So how would you do that while still getting variation and interest in the body and the hips, but not having to fight everything? The way I approach this, and this is my method, you don't have to follow this if you don't like it. This is just a personal preference for me. And a lot of animation is personal preferences, what works best for you. So the way I tend to think about it is that as I'm rotating the cog, the only thing that the cog is doing is adjusting the big rotations, the big angle changes of the body. So, for example, if the character is going to do a flip, that's just one simple rotation. It's just this, whoop, and back. One clean rotation. So let's say, again, we have the character running, they jump, do a flip. Let's actually, I'm going to animate this super roughly. So hopefully it kind of makes a little sense. This animation is going to be terrible. So I apologize in advance. So let's have those feet follow like so. And I'm going to have the arms and head follow as well, because really we're only focused on the spine right now. Okay, cool. So we've got the character here. They're going to run forward. And then, oh, make sure those knee PVs don't break there. There we go. So they're going to run forward, and then I'm going to have them jump into the air, keep going forward, and then land here. Okay. So let's just double check my translate Z. I actually got it pretty linear here. So I'm going to make sure this is fairly linear right there. I don't want too much of a change happening. Maybe an ease right there. Okay. Translate Y. We'll turn this into a bouncing ball. So I can just break my tangents here. There and then there. Beep. Beep. And this is going to be, again, super simple. So we're not going to worry too much about it. So we've got our character, run, 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 jump, land. Now, as they jump in the air, we want this to flip as well. So the cog is going to handle the main forward flip here. So as they go through the air, they're going to start in this position, end in that position. And in midair, let's kind of just get them upside down here. So that they go, wee, and then flip. And now you'll notice they go back. I just need to keep rotating that full 360. Like so. Whew. They land. There we go. So now, that is my root motion. It is moving through the scene and contains all of my core angles of the body. So thinking of the character almost like a stick, just as a line, and the angle that that whole body is creating. Okay. Now from there, we've got a run in the beginning here. We need those hips to go like this as the character is running. Because if they're running, that means their legs are doing that, and their hips are going to have to follow that. Their chest is going to have to counter animate that. But should I use the cog for this? I could. The problem with that is now I'm going to have to rotate this, and you can see the spine is already twisting. And I add a rotation here. The spine is twisting the other way. Then let's kind of go through here. Now the spine straightens out. I go here. Now as she spins in the air, well, am I going to have a twist in there? And then I have to start kind of to fix that. And now the whole body is kind of twisting in the air. It gets to be a pain very quickly. I could do that, but again, I'm going to have to do a bunch of counter animation on that spine. What if I just keep it simpler? Once again, the cog, at least in my mind, I use as a way of adjusting my major angle changes. Now, as a character is running, imagine a character is running, they're looking over here as they run, and they're doing this. Is there a major angle change? No. They're facing forward. Their body might be offsetting slightly, but the character is running in this direction, and they're just running forward. If they suddenly run this way and then start turning and running this way, that's a major angle change. That's a rotation. But all of this other stuff on top, hips and chest, that's not changing the angle that the character is facing. That's just a little bit of offset, a little bit of extra motion in there. So as long as my character is not making a big change, again, the flip counts as a big change. They're going from upright to parallel to vertical and back again. If my character is just kind of moving in a straight line, I'm not going to use the cog. I'm going to use the hip control. Because what this means is now I can do the side-to-side motion of the character just using this hip control. So it's going to maybe start over here, and then it's going to go over here, and then it's going to switch back over here. And you can see nothing is affecting the spine. So now I can do this whole motion like this with the hips. My spine stays fine. I can add more sway this way if I wanted to. The legs are going to look horrible here. So now we get that of the hips going like this if I need to. It's not affecting the spine. For the spine itself, I can add in that rotation side to side and that twist side to side. It's not going to affect anything. Once again, I'm not changing the main angle of the run. When the character is running, they're just doing this. They're not doing this as they're running where the whole body is angling sideways. Even like this big change here, my spine is rotating, but my hips are staying flat on my chair because I'm sitting down. So I wouldn't even consider that a major change. The major change would be if the whole body goes to the side. So when you start approaching your animation like that, it makes it much easier to avoid fighting the rig. Actually, let me see. I did a quick animation test. I never finished it here. I wonder if I have it here. Essentially, it kind of had exactly what I'm talking about. Which one was it? I don't know if I have it right here. Oh, dang it. I don't have it. Well, I can show this here. This was the spline demo I did last stream, 2 streams ago. Forget, time is weird. So this was the walk cycle I had done on stream. And we've got all of this hip motion here. You can see side to side, all of this rotation, all of this spine motion, which is much more subtle. But if you look at the cog in this, right here, look at its movement. It's not rotating at all because the character is facing one direction. She's not turning. She's walking in a straight line. So the cog moves in a straight line. If I needed to adjust this so that she turns, I would just do a simple, very simple whoop, turn. No weird offsets, no like wiggles in there. Just a nice simple turn. And then the hip control adds that nice little offset in there. So I have a very simple base that I can build on top of. And what this does is it helps avoid counter animation. It helps avoid having to fight the rig. And oh, little Danny, thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So yeah, it just helps avoid all of that. And you still get all the poses you want. And you're just simplifying things. So that's my approach typically. I hope that helps. If you have any other questions on that, definitely let me know. And Bua, I hope that helps answer your question as well. Simplifying the cog in that way is just a way of avoiding all that counter animation in the spine, especially when you're doing small, subtle changes. That is a nightmare of trying to move the cog, trying to move the spine, trying to move the cog, trying to move the spine, finally get everything polished. Oh wait, I have to move the cog again. The whole spine is ruined again, which is just a pain. I used to animate that way. I used to animate the cog for everything with only the hip control for a little bit of stuff. And it works. It forces you to understand how the spine should move, which is good. But in the long run, especially in the polish stage, it is a nightmare to fight, which is not fun.